Hello and welcome back to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I'm Jeff, and today we are going to build this beauty right here. This is set number 76126. It is the Avengers Ultimate Quinjet, and we are building this in anticipation of using it in the Avengers Tower, which is the 1,000 subscriber challenge that we have. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to close this out, and we are going to go ahead and switch cameras and get started. I hope you guys are having a great day today. I'm having actually a great day. I have to celebrate small victories where I have them. And right now I do have a small victory. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Let me check something real quick because I'm a little concerned. I bought this, oh gee, of course. Yeah, it won't let me. Let's try that again. Let's try logging in. There it goes. All right. When I bought this, it was supposed to be new, only the minifigures taken out. But I've noticed that it's extremely dusty, and I'm noticing that stickers have been applied. So I'm thinking I got bamboozled. I just barely opened it just now, but let's take a look here. I don't want to claim anything. Yeah, we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Okay. Well, I'll reach out to the seller later. I guess I really don't care just as long as all the pieces are there. So why are we doing this? We are doing this in anticipation of the tower. This is the beginning of the next level. I am going to modify this slightly by putting wheels underneath here because it needs to have wheels. But it'll fit here, and it's going to be an elevator, so it's going to be two of them, so they can launch two of them. Yeah, I know that's not accurate to the movie, but hey, it's my building, and I want to do it differently. And so we need two of these, and I want them to be identical. They did come out with other ones. I do have them, but I decided to go with this one, mainly because the size of it's smaller, and also it is cheaper as well. I mean, I think I got this for 30 bucks. The one that we're going to build, not this one. This one has all the minifigures too. So let's put this aside and let's do our build. Let's just get her done. Okay, I said small victory. Why would I say small victory? It's a small victory because you guys know that I've mentioned this before, but I know some of you don't watch every single episode, so let me just kind of explain. I have sleep apnea, and boy, do I have it. I was diagnosed in 2011, and I have over 120 obstructive episodes an hour, so it's horrible. Well, we have great insurance, thanks to Mrs. Chip. We have TRICARE through the military. And although TRICARE is a good company, the companies that they choose to administer the plan are not always the best. And that's what I was facing, is that at the first of the year, TRICARE didn't like the way Humana was doing the job. And so they decided to go with a new contractor, a new insurance company. Well, I don't know why they switched, because we honestly did not ever have problems with Humana. Our family never did. Well, I had one problem with it. I'll take that back. But it wasn't very big, and it was handled pretty appropriately and quickly, to be honest. Yeah, they decided that they were going to switch insurance companies. And when they did, they really screwed us over because this new company just does not care. And it really, oh man. I've been getting my sleep supplies forever and a day. And this new company comes along and they say, oh, we won't pay for it. And I was like, well, why not? And they're like, oh, well, we don't know you have sleep apnea. And I'm thinking, well, that's funny because I've had it for the last 14 years. So, I mean, and it doesn't go away on its own. In fact, there really isn't much you can do about it. There's not a surgery. There's not anything. So, we went back and forth, and they said, "Oh, sorry, you're just gonna have to get a sleep study." And I was thinking, I did not want to do a sleep study. So I tried calling the old place that I went through. And the old place that I went through in 2011, I remember the name, and it was a catchy name. And I went and I looked for them in the phone book and all that good stuff, and they no longer exist. And I say phone book, I really mean Google. Yeah, because the location's there on the map, but it says permanently closed. So, and I looked for them, otherwise couldn't find them. They don't exist. So then I had to eat a piece of humble pie and had to call them back. And the insurance company say, "Hey, look, I'm not going to be able to get you a copy of a sleep study." And they said, "Okay, well, you're just going to have to do another one." Which, like I said, I don't want to do another one. So I was like, "Okay, what do I have to do?" And they said, "Well, you gotta contact your PCM, your primary care manager, and you set up an appointment with them. And then if they think you need a sleep study, they'll refer you. And once you get the referral, you go see the sleep doctor. And if they feel you need a sleep study, then they'll put the authorization in." And okay, that's enough as it is, right? Well, it gets worse, because I tell them, "Well, I want to see this doctor," because I've been seeing this doctor for like 5 or 6 years now, and I really like her. She's awesome. She's the kind of doctor that listens to you and doesn't always throw prescriptions at you. She'll often say, "Hey, how about you try this lifestyle habit change?" And if you do that, and I have with her, things have gotten a little bit better. And so I like her as a doctor. So I told the insurance company, I said, "Okay, well, let's I'll go see her." And it says, "Oh, she's not on the list. You can't see her." And I'm thinking, why the hell is she not on the list? I mean, after all, she is the doctor I've been seeing for 6 years. And I was seeing her underneath the same insurance. And all you are as the administrator, you're not the insurance itself. So if she's registered with my insurance, why can't I see her? And they said, "Well, she's not on the list." So I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I got to look at your directory and I'll figure something else and call you back." So I hang up and I look at the directory and I see my doctor on there. So I call the insurance company back and I'm like, "Yo, what is up? You told me she's not in the directory. She's in the directory." And no, she's not in the directory. And I'm like, "I'm looking at it right online right now. What do you mean she's not on the directory?" And the guy says, No, she's not. You got to pick somebody else." Okay. I think you guys can get the picture. I'm getting very frustrated. And although I don't usually resort to violence, in fact, hardly ever, my temper was getting pretty hot, and I was about ready to put my fist through somebody's, anyway. It was annoying. I could not believe these people were giving me the runaround. I need my sleep supplies. And when I tell you what my sleep score was in the new study, you'll understand exactly why. And I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so I used to do medical insurance billing and follow-up. So I know a lot about it. So I know that each doctor has what's called an NPI, and this is in the States. And an NPI is a National Provider Identification, I think it is. It's like a Social Security number in a way for doctors only. And it's only for medical billing purposes. You can't steal their identity or anything crazy with it. Not that you'd want to, but I'm just saying. It's a Social Security number, but not that crazy about it. Well, I called up my doctor's office, and I said, "Look, I'm having trouble getting you guys on my insurance. Can I get your NPI so I can give it to them?" And they were, of course, they want my business. So they're like, "Yeah, sure, here it is." So I wrote it down. And I called back the insurance company. Same old thing. "Oh, yeah, she's not on the list." I said, "Oh, bullshit." I said, "Here's her NPI. Look it up." So they look it up. "Oh, yeah, I see her." Yeah, shut up. I mean, like, seriously. I mean, they're giving me, first of all, I had sleep apnea for 14 years. So there's no reason to have to do another study. And then on top of that, it's like they're telling me I can't see my I have to see my primary care manager, but I can't see the one I want to see because she's not on the list, but she is on the list. I mean, you guys get what's going on, right? So, okay, I designate her as my PCM. And then I call up and, most doctor's offices are this way. If it's not something extremely urgent or acute, as they say, you could have a little bit of a wait. And it was a 3-week wait. And I waited this, I got the appointment, went to go see her, and I said, hey, look, this is what's going on. And she says, okay, well, yeah, I see you've been on CPAP for, or BiPAP for however many years. She's like, I got no problem giving you a referral to a sleep doctor. So they give me a referral to a sleep doctor. It takes a while to get the referral, a couple of days. I get the referral. I go and I make the appointment. And when I make the appointment to the sleep doctor, it's like a month away. It's like, actually, it was more than a month away, but it was pretty far out. So I'm waiting for that, right? And as I'm waiting for that, I'm burning through my CPAP supplies because you're supposed to change them out every month. And it's kind of annoying because I literally cannot sleep without it. And anyway, so I wait for the appointment. I get the day of the appointment, and the lady's like, hey, yeah, definitely. I see we did verify with your insurance company. They're requiring it. You're not just asking for it. Yeah, we'll put in a referral. We'll get you in. So at this point, I'm happy because it's like, okay, now I have, a doctor on board, and I'm going to be able to get this sleep study done again and all that crap. And I'm happy about that. And then the insurance company denies the referral. Are you okay, Enzo? Are you okay? So we got to go back and forth, and I thought this was supposed to be the day where we are gender equality and all this, and I don't like bringing up politics, but the only reason I brought that up is because what had happened was the insurance company denied me because they assumed that I was the one in the military, and they didn't have any record of me being in the military. Even though when I filled it out, I put down that my wife was the sponsor. They just couldn't see past their pretty little heads to understand that a female can be in the Army, and it's really stupid. I mean, come on. So we had to go through that, and then it got resubmitted. Then they approved it. Then once they approved it, from there, I was able to they had to call me, and they set up an appointment for the sleep study. Then, we set up the time for the sleep study. It was all good. And I did the sleep study. And the sleep study was a real pain in the ass because I had to drive an hour and 20 minutes away. They don't do overnight sleep studies. What they do is they send you home with a couple monitoring devices, and you got to put it on yourself. So, okay, I did that. But then the very next day, you have to go back, and you got to give it to them again. And so I had to make an hour and 20, so almost 3 hours, just to pick it up. And then I had to go back the very next day, and I had to give it back to them. So I had this horrendous drive twice, 2 days in a row. And by the way, the sleep center, if I ever have to do this again, I'm not using them. The lady behind the counter was so freaking condescending, and I don't deal with that. So I did the sleep study. Anyways, it came back. My sleep score has improved a tiny bit. Instead of being Okay, wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Instead of it being 120 something episodes an hour, I'm down to 105. So yeah, and the small victory was that today I finally got my first CPAP supplies in freaking 8 months, all because an insurance company was trying to drag their feet to make sure that they didn't have to pay for something that they should have to pay for because it is a legit medical condition. And to that, I just say, what a bunch of a-holes. I just cannot believe this was all necessary. And I mean, I was fighting tooth and nail like the whole entire time and the whole entire way. And it was no fun. So anyway, enough of that. Small victory, though. Another small victory has been that I have been working on the city. Yesterday was another day where it wasn't that hot, which I'm actually really surprised because we're underneath the fire warning right now. But it's not that hot. And so at about 7 o'clock in the evening, or actually before that, because I was on Yeti's live stream. And on Yeti's live stream, it started at 6, and I was already out there. And when he messaged me, and so anyway, I went out there, and it was warm, but not as warm as it has been. So I'll take it. And I spent about 6 hours, and I completely, and I mean completely, demolished the old part of the city. It's in a 27-gallon tote that's almost full. So that's a lot of Lego in one bucket. And that's a lot of Legos that was on the table. Anyway, got that done. And I put the 2 tables back together. And I bolted them together. Super Doom King, how is it going? I bolted the 2 tables back together. And when I bolted them back together, I started to rebuild the city, laying down the base plates, starting the water. And anyway, made a lot of progress. And I'm going to make more progress. In fact, tomorrow's live stream is going to involve building some sets that are going to go into the city probably pretty soon. In fact, I might just directly put them in the city, depending on how far I can get on things. So, got a lot going on. And it's all, I mean, I'm having a great time. And, I think I told you guys this yesterday. I don't remember. But another small victory that I had was that I've had some problems with YouTube. Because when I get done with the live stream, there's a screen that pops up. And it'll say, how many viewers, the average viewer, and then I'll tell you how much watch time hours you get. And that's real important because that's how they pay you, or if they're going to pay you, you got to have enough watched hours. And I do this full time, so I really need to be paid. It's not a, I've been accused by other YouTubers that it's all about the money for me. It's actually not. It's all about spreading the word of Lego and having fun with these things. And I think I'm missing a chair. Oh no, it's right here. So anyway, it's just a matter of I'm going to spend all this time on it. I would like to get paid, especially because I don't have a job right now. So it's kind of one of those things where, yeah, I kind of need to be paid because all the time and effort I'm putting into it anyway. But anyway, when you get done with that screen, sometimes it'll say, let's say, 10 hours. And actually, one of the streams I did recently, it did say 10 hours at the end. So I was like, oh, cool. I got a nice, decent chunk of hours in here. Well, the next day I check it again, and YouTube's saying I had 0.1. And instead of 50-something views, it says I had like 4. And I'm like, okay, so where those 46 people go? And how do you reverse something that you've already told me happened? So anyway, I was a little upset, and I've been trying to reach out to YouTube, and they don't make it very easy to get a hold of them. So I went through a lot, and I finally tell you how I got them, a hold of them, was that I tried on YouTube, and there is a thing that says contact us. You go to it though, and it'll say try our online forum or help center or something like that. And you go there, and it gives you a list of articles to read, but none of them have the issue that I have, and that is my watchtower is not getting counted. So I was a little upset with that. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. And I was trying to get a hold of somebody, and I talked to somebody through a chat window before at YouTube, but it wasn't giving me that option. I would go through the whole entire thing, looking here, and always brought me back to the same screen, and that was a list of topics to read, and it was really annoying. So then I searched Google itself, and I said, how to get a hold of YouTube. And, it's owned by Google, and they really don't want you contacting them, so there was no help. I couldn't find them. So then I decided, you know what? I've heard of DuckDuckGo search engine, and it's not Google related. So let me go ahead. So I bring up DuckDuckGo, and I put in how to contact YouTube, and the next thing I know, boom, it's right there. So I'm like, all right. So I got a hold of YouTube. I was like, hey, what the, you know what? And the lady she was beat a pill at first, because she was like, well, I don't understand your issue. Like as if me explaining it in plain English doesn't help. And then she was like, well, you need to give me a specific example. And I'm like, I just told you how I get the information. Once you close out the stream, that original screen is gone. And so there is no way for me to give you a link to it. And she said, why didn't that link, or I can't help you because you don't have, proof. And I was like, and then I was kind of condescending back to her, and I said, look, aren't you guys the one that own the platform? Don't you have access to this information? Can't you look it up? And she goes, oh, yeah. What video was it? What's live? So I told her date and time. She looks at it and she goes, huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I do see on this screen that you have 10 hours, but over here you only have 0.1. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. Let me put you on hold. And I'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes. So she does that, and she comes back and she goes, yeah, I have no idea why that's happening. She's like, let me put a ticket in to our IT department, have them look into it, and hopefully we'll fix it soon. Well, that was only yesterday. I have not seen a change in my watchtowers, but at least I have a ticket number and a way to contact them, so I can get back to them in a couple of days if they don't do it, and say, hey, don't forget me, I'm over here. I got to move some of these bigger pieces out of the way. But yeah, this was kind of frustrating here too, because I bought this and it's supposed to be new and it's not. Hey, John, how you doing, man? And Fromania Bricks, hope you've been having a great stream. Yeah, actually, just sitting here chatting away, and no, it's going pretty good. But since you guys are here, let's share a joke. Do you guys know why the parrot went to jail? Or I messed it up. You know why the why the parrot went to prison? And the punchline of that is, well, he was a jailbird. So there you go. And do you know what the difference is between a jeweler and a jailer? Well, one sells watches and the other watches sells. So there you go. Yeah, I got a whole string of bad jokes. I always do, right? Oh, no, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. My wife got irritated with me years and years ago after we first got married. She's like, "Man, your jokes, some of them aren't even funny, but you laugh. Why you even bother telling them?" And I said, "You know what? As long as I laugh at them and I think they're funny, I'm going to keep doing it because it makes me laugh, and I need that sometimes." And in fact, that's kind of like my personal strategy to dealing with most tough things in life. I figure if I can poke fun at it, it's not that bad. So I will do that. And yes, I am drinking Mountain Dew. All right. This next joke, well, I even hate the fact that I have to say this, but trigger warning, because some people are not going to find this joke funny. But I sure the hell did. All right. Do you guys know why Mrs. Doubtfire was sent to jail? Well, her crime was mail fraud. And I don't care who you are, that should be funny right there. So if you guys are just tuning in, I'm building a second Quinjet. This is the Quinjet that I'm building. This one right here. We're going to be putting this in the Avengers Tower. I wanted 2 of them with an elevator system, and so here we are. We're building this. I got this one on Bricklink. It was supposed to be new, and the guy only took out the figures, but it's definitely been built because stickers are applied, and I can see some scratching and that kind of stuff. So I will have a conversation with that seller a little bit later. So yeah, anyway, that's going on, and I will share something with you guys, and it is on a personal level, but I want to get it out there. So when I'm done here, I'm going to call my doctor's office and try to get an appointment. Unfortunately, the other day I had a little bit of pain right here, and I wasn't really sure what it was, and so I started feeling around, and I've got a pretty good size lump right underneath the skin there. Not really sure what it is, and those kind of things scare me because Mrs. Chip's mom, she died of cancer, and she had like a lump down in her abdomen area, and she didn't get it checked, and she ended up, by the time she got it checked, it was too late. She was well on her way out the door. So I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna definitely get it looked at ASAP. So I am planning on doing another stream tomorrow morning, but if I don't set one up, you guys know that I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and that's the reason. Another reason I'm telling you guys, that you know that I'm not just not doing a stream to not do a stream. I'm not doing a stream tomorrow. Well, I'm sorry. If I don't do a stream tomorrow, that's the reason. Okay, well, I'm having trouble finding. I mean, like, we've got these pieces, but that's not the one I need. I need the one that's got the sloped curve, not the tile. And see, here is a slope, but no sticker on it. This is why you don't buy used. And I usually don't. I thought I was getting a deal, but It looks like the seller got a deal because he said it was new and it's not, and then now there are pieces missing. So nice. All right, got another one for you. Why did Michael Jackson have an allergic reaction? Well, that's because he got stung by a bee. Oh my goodness gracious, I am having trouble finding all kinds of pieces now. And you would think that it gets easier because as you get through the pile and you put more pieces on the set, you've got less to look through, but that's not what's happening. Okay, let's see. Okay, I see what we need to do. Well, let's see. We got a news of the weird. Let's get to that. All right. Okay. All right. So I read this one a little bit ahead because I wanted to know what I was getting myself into. And here we go. Fashion fox paw. And yes, it's not spelled right on purpose because this is about a cat. All right. More than a year ago, Natasha Lavoie of British Columbia has been receiving phone calls about her missing cat, Turbo, United Press International reported. Only one problem. The cat, Turbo, is not missing. The mix-up mystery was finally traced to a T-shirt sold by Wisdom, New York, which features a lost cat poster that includes Lavoie's phone number. Wisdom New York said the shirt is no longer available and the use of a real phone number within the art created was not intentional. But Lavoie does not want to change her number. She says, quote, I have had this number for 20 years. I will just keep not answering it. Well, if you can't answer your phone, what good is it? But, I mean, you know, with the advent of caller ID, which I know some of you younger people are like, what do you mean? There was never caller ID? Yeah, actually, when I first got a phone, if you didn't answer it, you just didn't know who called. So, yeah. But with caller ID these days, that's not a problem. I mean, seriously, it comes up on my phone, and I know who's calling before I even answer. So unless it says unknown number, and then I just don't answer it at all. So if you're going to call Chip, you better have it available because I ain't going to look if you don't. That was kind of a strange story. I mean, what are the chances of, out of all the phone numbers in the world, they choose hers? Of course, they're going to choose somebody. So, I mean, I guess it's not that random, but it is random that it was actually hers. Okay. I am a little tired, guys. For whatever reason, my body got me out of bed early, and it was earlier than I needed to get up, but my body said, you know what? That seems like a great time to be awake. And I laid back in bed, tried to sleep some more, but my body wouldn't let me. And now, of course, I'm paying the price because I'm tired because I got up too early. So, whatever. It's life. It happens a lot, actually. Okay. Okay, I'm not really sure that I know what's going on here. There we go. Okay, this next one made me laugh. What do you call a drug dealer who's always on time? That's a cop. And for those of you who don't know, I have two close family members that are police officers, so I'm not disparaging the police and their job. I actually have respect for them because, well, I'm not going to say who they are, but in my family, they're well respected. They're good people. It's kind of like the other joke. What do you call a meth dealer who has all his teeth? A cop. And if you also didn't know, Taco Fact 34 is tacos are healthier than crystal meth. All right, that's enough of those jokes. All right. I'm just not finding a lot of the pieces, guys. I think I'm going to have a serious conversation with this guy. I don't want to speak too early because it could be in here and I'm just not seeing it. So let me fish around just a tiny bit more. And I apologize, guys. This guy actually resealed the bags that it came in. So it did look like it was new, like it was supposed to be. And it wasn't until I opened it that I realized it wasn't. And he had mixed the bags up. So there was, I did not lay them out like I normally do. Okay, there's another one with no sticker on it. Oh, there we go. Found that one. Okay. Alexander L. Studios, how are you doing, my friend? How is your Tuesday morning moving along? Or afternoon, wherever you might be. So, just out of curiosity, has anybody seen Italian Gaming? Last I saw him, he said he was in the hospital. He sent me an email right before, and like a day or two before he went to the hospital. And then I went ahead and reached out to him because I didn't see him on here for a couple of days. And I haven't heard anything back. So I'm really hoping he is okay. Okay, I got one for you. What's the difference between an escaped prisoner and an orphan? Only one is wanted and will be searched for. Okay, that was bad. Yes, I know. Well, I found the sticker. Okay, now I need a hinge. You've got 34 subs. Whoa, cool. I remember back when I got my 35th sub, and I really mean this. But the fact that you use that number is funny, because it was about 5 years ago. I went for a job interview, and at the job interview, the guy asked me, what I like to do for fun, and I told him about my Legos, and then I was like, well, and by the way, I do have a small YouTube channel. He goes, really? And he goes, what is it? I tell him. He pulls out his phone, and he goes, well, now you have 35 subscribers. So that's why that number is funny to me, because I walked in the job interview with 34 and walked out with 35. And I was so excited. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but I was so excited. I don't even know if the guy's still a subscriber or not, because I don't even know if there is a list of your subscribers. Never really dove into that, but yep, 35 is definitely a nice number. So I'm not seeing my next piece. Then I'm pretty sure I'm going to need it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So for tomorrow, we're probably going to make the hidden side, the wrecked shrimp boat. I'm going to build it in front of you guys as is, no problems. But I am going to modify it later, because I don't want it to be a wrecked shrimp boat. I want it to be just a shrimp boat. So, but in spirit of what I do, I'll build it on camera the original way. Oh, there it is. Let's put this on. All right. This is not moving as fast as I'd like, guys, and that's because I didn't know that this was truly not new. The guy did advertise it as new. So the pieces weren't laid out, so I'm experiencing some difficulties here getting them together. All right, let's just get this done. All right, news of the weird time. Okay, this one is underneath the title of News That You Can Use. For 5 days every summer, a flotilla of rowboats is unleashed on the River Thames, that's in London, where carefully selected scarlet-coated oarsmen are tasked with swan upping, a census of the swans. Okay, that's weird. Hello, Owen, how you doing? And hello, Cajun. The swans belong to the Lord of the Swans, otherwise known as King Charles III, and they must be marked and checked for disease or injury. They do this every year. Veteran King Swan marker David Barber sees the ritual as more than tradition. Quote, I think it's serving a very useful purpose. It gives us an indication of what's going on throughout the country, close quote. The census dates back to the 12th century when swans were imported food sources for royal banquets. Wow, that is a 800-year-old tradition. Awesome. It's going pretty good. Thanks for asking. I'm actually having a pretty good day. I got my CPAP supplies today, and my first one's in 9 months, or 8 months, sorry. 9 months would be a whole nother problem. Anyway, I'm just joking. But yeah, I definitely got my sleep supplies today, and it took 8 months because my insurance decided to be turds. So anyway, Yeti, how's it going? And all right, really sick joke, but I died laughing when I heard this one. All right, what's the best part of a hooker dying? Well, the answer to that is the second hour is free. So, no, I don't believe in doing that. But when I heard the joke, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is crazy." Not check your Facebook, you'll see the picture. Oh, oh, let me. I'm sorry. I've had my phone on silent since I've been awake. Oh, yeah, Yeti, I'd be upset about that too. Jeez, man. You think they could use better boxing and packaging materials? I hope you call. And I hope you tell them off. Because I know I would. I would be so tempted to just be like, what the? And actually, I can't remember which one it was, but it was in the last year. They had a gift with purchase, and it was a big old box, and they stuck it on the side of the box, so the bigger box just smashed up against it. And by the time it got there, it was almost, there wasn't much left of it, and pieces were broken inside. And I called, and Lego was not very kind to me about it. They were like, "Oh, well, it's a gift with purchase. We don't replace those." And I'm like, "Yeah, you do, because you didn't ship it right, and it got mangled." And the girl's like, "No, we don't. All we do is give out points. I don't want your damn points. I want my damn merchandise." And we went round and round, and then eventually I had to become a Karen. And I had to say, "Let me speak to your manager." And I did, actually. And they got the manager on the phone, supervisor, whatever, and I told them that I was very disappointed because, and they started off the conversation the same way she did. "Oh, well, we don't replace those." And I'm like, "Yeah, you do." So yeah, I complained, and I told her, I said, "You need to look at my account and see how much I order." And I hate doing that. I hate pulling it because I'm not trying to like act like I'm special, but I did, and I don't do that very often. In fact, I think that's the first time I remember doing that to him. Anyway, she looked at my account and she goes, "Yeah, we'll send you out another one." "Yeah, thank you. I thought so." Anyway. Oh no, Yeti, you're fine, dude. In fact, you are a moderator. Please put a link in the description, or I mean in the comments, man. I have no problems with other people promoting their stuff on my channel, and the reason why is the community is big enough for all of us. Did you get the Molina? No, I have not. Noah. I always want to say something. My mind always says something different when I see your name, but it's not a bad thing. It's my issue. All right, let's see. This is taking longer than I thought. Mom is coming down, and Mana is coming down, not Mom. Sorry. I'm not trying to insult your mother. Oh, so sorry. That is not me. I don't insult people's mothers. Yeah, I do. But not this time. I wasn't trying to. And in fact, John, I got a joke for you, but it's not directed at you. Your mama's so slow, it took her 9 months to make a joke. No, just kidding. John, what he really said was, "Man, it's coming down in buckets out here today. Thunder like artillery." That's kind of scary, dude. Did you guys see that satellite image the other day of that lightning strike that was over 500 miles long? That was picked up by satellite imagery, and they've got the pictures of it. That's freaking insane, because they're always telling you that if you can hear the thunder, well, then you can get hit. But from 500 miles away, really? I mean, like, hell, that's almost, California's 800 miles from me, so that's almost half the distance, a little more than half the distance to California. And if I sat there and like, I'm like, they're having a thunderstorm in Nevada, and I'm out here on my land out here, just walking around where there's no trees, and boom, I get hit. Yeah, right, man. 500 miles away. That, you want to talk about a freak accident? I think that's the very definition of a damn freak accident to me. So, yeah, thanks, Yeti, for putting that in there. I will watch that. Is that the one? Is that the same video yesterday? The one that says something like I messed up or something? Because I did watch that one. If this is a new video, besides that, I will watch it after this. Oh, and also, guys, I am doing a live stream tonight as well. And we're going to go ahead and work on the merchant boat, which, oh, it's this guy right here. It's one of the Bricklink Designer Series 4 sets. And we will get it done. I hope we'll get it done tonight. I think we've got less than 10 bags left to go. But, yeah. So I was talking to my friend the other day, and my friend asked me why my dad was in prison. And I said, I don't know, beats me. Noah, I think my next pickup probably going to get around Christmas. All three of the Guardians. Oh, yeah. Guardians, yeah. I've got a few of their sets, too. I've got the orange spaceship, and I know. I should know the name. Anyway, I do have that one, and I do like it. So, that one was a bit of a... I was not happy with that purchase. So I bought a dude's collection because he gave me some sob story about needing money or his car's going to get repoed. And I should have just said, well, manage your money better. Because I bought it off of him, and it was missing most of the minifigures. The only one it came with was Thor. So the raccoon was missing. Groot was missing. I'm trying to remember who else was supposed to be in there. So I wasn't happy with that purchase. And plus, that's the guy I bought the my second Ultimate Collector Series AT-AT. And that jerk freaking glued some of the pieces together. And I didn't know that when I looked at it, because you couldn't tell. It wasn't until I got it home and started working on it. And I was like, this ain't coming apart. And anyway, that'll piss you off, is buying a Lego set for a decent price and then finding out that it's glued together. Yeah, that'll definitely piss you off. Because I'll be honest, if I would have known, I wouldn't even bought it. I do not buy glued sets. In fact, there's actually an 11th commandment that's not that familiar. And the 11th commandment is, thou shalt not glue Lego. Just let you know. And I know it's a little lesser commandment. It's in the fine print on the bottom. But yes, Yeti, I would love that. I'll set this up afterwards, and I will send you the link. But yeah, you know how like there's always a little asterisk and the bottom is a little fine print. Well, yeah, when it says 10 commandments on the top, there's a little asterisk and then a little fine print etched in the bottom there. Thou shalt not glue Lego. I've seen it. Gluing an $850 set is wild. It is wild. I don't know why he did it. And it wasn't even on, like, okay, so the doors on the side, they are a little flimsy. So okay, I've never glued two Lego together. I'll say that right off the bat. But if he would have glued like the hinge part where, not the moving part, but just like where it connects, I would have been okay with that, sort of. I mean, I don't like it, but at least I would understand why he would have done that. But no, he glued some of the pieces on the head that never come off. And I was like, what the F, bro? Excuse me, I don't want to swear. I do, but I don't. And he's it's a guy that Spencer used to work with, so I thought I could trust him. He's a good kid. And yeah, he's a kid because he's way younger than me. And he's actually the one that helped. Him and his dad own a business, and they install gutters. And they're the ones that installed my seamless gutters on my shop, which I'm grateful for because, I mean, it helped with the drainage and stuff. But I didn't appreciate the Lego being all messed up. Anyway, I've done a lot of complaining today. I'll try to stop. Next, let's talk about Miss Chip. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that out loud. And actually, you guys have noticed that she's been absent, and that's because she is training right now, and she is not in Texas. She is actually in South Carolina, and she will be there for a few more weeks. I did get to talk to her last night. It was the first time in a few days, and in fact, Yeti, that's why I got off your stream in a hurry yesterday. I said it a couple times, but I don't think anybody heard me because my phone was ringing. And I know that, like, on Facebook Messenger, if the phone starts ringing, they can't hear me on Messenger. I think my phone mutes it for the app. But that's the reason I left, is that I have not been able to talk to her since Thursday because her training schedule has been so crazy and testing that when I saw her call come through, I'm like, I'm taking this call. And I had no idea she was going to call. So, but I got to catch up with her. She's doing good. And she's got a major essay. Yeah, this is a full-blown training course. It's a training course that is required to get her the next promotion. Right now, she is a staff sergeant at E6, and she is hoping to get picked up for a sergeant first class in E7. And I'll tell you what, I think that girl's a hard worker, and I hope she does get it, because Mrs. Chip is definitely, I mean, no one deserves anything. I mean, life doesn't owe us anything. But if there is someone deserving of anything, it would be her. She's a really hard worker. So, I'm sorry. Let's, oh, yes. And actually, I have that one, Noah. Noah says, oh, nice. That one's cool. The Molina looks different than that one. I think it's bigger. Yes, and it does. I have it sitting over there on the table. And Cajun, yeah, Louisiana was part of it. We had over 5,000 lightning strikes under 3 hours. My goodness. Okay. It's uploading right now, and it should be out. Okay. After you're done, I'll look at it. Okay, I read that one. I thought the 11th commandment was to make disciples. Well, me and Miss Chip did have 4 kids, so I think we fulfilled that commandment to the letter of the law. And actually, I will tell you a story. It's kind of funny. When we lived in Germany, most of the gate guards, there's a few MPs, but most of them are German civilian contractors. And it was really funny because we went up to the gate one time, and I handed this guy five ID cards. But Spencer was young enough, he didn't need one yet. But we had 6 people in the vehicle. And the guy just looks at us like really weird. And finally he goes, okay, well, you're cleared to go. He goes, but I got to ask this question. Do you and your wife know how to do anything else for fun? And I just looked at Miss Chip, looked back at him, and said, no, we don't. It's kind of like the joke. I was sitting there wondering what my parents used to do for fun before the internet. I wasn't quite sure, so I asked my 11 brothers and sisters, and they didn't know either. Noah says, was debating on whether to get the AT-AT or the MBS canteen. Oh, yes. And went with the canteen. Canteen is nice, dude. I hope you enjoy that set. I have a copy of it, and it's a great set. But I know of greater sets, but we can't talk about that here. Okay. Actually, I think because I'm on a perverted streak. All right, got a joke for you. What's the difference between Disney and porn? You guys will probably not get this one. It ain't right. Well, the difference is Disney teaches you to hate your stepmother. Yeah, that's pretty bad, guys. Oh, and KGA says, by the way, that's one of my favorite Avengers set you built. Awesome. Noah, yeah, I bought those pieces. Were loose because they're supposed to be removable to get more playability. Yeah, they are. Cajun Yeti, they can keep South Carolina. I didn't like doing training out there. Yeah, she didn't either. That's where she did her basic. And I think the only thing that saved her because of how hot and humid it was that she entered basic in late September, almost the very end of September, actually. And so it was hot the first week or two. And basic training is, 9-10 weeks? And she, by the time that she was done, it was after Thanksgiving, so it cooled off. So, and speaking of that, I will tell a story. Mrs. Chip did not like basic because if one person gets in trouble, everyone gets in trouble. And so, oh my gosh, they were doing training, and they were coming out of the barracks in the morning. And the female and male barracks were, there was a courtyard in between them. And this girl who was really pretty, and she was fresh out of high school, and she didn't think rules applied to her. And as they were going out one morning, they decided to, they had to go into the courtyard for formation. And as they're coming out, this pretty girl thought, she saw a cute guy that was, there, and he was also a recruit, and she lifted up her shirt and flashed him real quick. And unfortunately, right after she flashed, she had to say good morning, First Sergeant, and she got caught. And so they all got in trouble for it, even though they didn't do it. She did it. And boy, I remember when Miss Chip called me a couple of days, or that day, I can't remember, but she called me right after it happened, and oh my gosh, she was fit to be taught. She's like, this disgusting biatch did this, and we all had to do cleaning, and they made us scrub toilets with freaking toothbrushes, and not their toothbrushes, just toothbrushes, and made them clean the showers with toothbrushes, and oh man, she was pissed. I remember that. So anyway. And never too old for Lego. He says, "What's up, Chip? Good morning." I know what they did. Yeah, they had friends and family over for barbecue and game. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. Owen, how you doing? Owen, the Lego master, never too old. All right. I know why they punish them all, because if it's a crime and do nothing about it, you're to blame. Yeah, I mean, I get why they do it too, but that's one of those things that I think Mrs. Chip hates to this day, even because they still do it, even when she's been long out of basic training. Actually, gosh, she'll be in next month. It'll be 18 years that she's been in the military. Holy crap. I didn't realize that. That is, wow, 18 years. That is an accomplishment. I can't find the piece, but I'm not saying it's not here. I just can't find it. So let me see if I can move on. And again, I do apologize for the build being slow. Usually I lay out pieces. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, this guy said it was new. And, well, I'm finding out that it's not new. And he put everything in just 2 bags. I couldn't see that when it first arrived. So anyway, yeah, we've got a little bit of a problem here, and it's going to be me reaching out to the seller and saying, hey, give him a chance to do something about it. If he doesn't, that's going to be a PayPal complaint. But yeah, I usually like to build these things a lot faster than I am building. It's just not going the way I had hoped. But that doesn't stop me from having a good time. Let's, speaking of what they did in their spare time, having a good time. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I got another joke for you. Oh, Spencer's home. I know. All right. So, joke. Hey, Spencer. I'm doing a live stream, by the way. Okay, so my lesbian friend got me a golden timepiece for my birthday. I think she got confused. I told her I want a watch for my birthday. All right, this is starting to get frustrating, because I'm not finding, I've kind of skipped around pieces that I couldn't find, and I'm getting to the point where I either need to find them or I can't continue. Boy, we got more of that going on, huh? All right, well, I definitely need to find pieces now, because I really can't go much further. Oh, here's one of them. Thank goodness. That'll help out quite a bit. Oh no, I need the other one that's missing. Dang it. I thought I was in the clear there. Oh, I found it. Now I need this little thing right here. This little slope. There it is. Can we call Michael if you're not busy? Yeah, we can, sure. Actually, I know a lot of sick Michael Jackson jokes that I'm kind of afraid to tell them, because I think YouTube hears that, they'd be like, get that, you know what, out of here. Noah, I did a color swap on Slave 1 to Bobo's, and it was a nightmare because it's not in any bags. I did a color sort, but it took so much longer than normal set, same size. Yeah, I could imagine, dude. And the Bobo or Django, whatever, that was a pretty good size set. Oh, nice. I put it on there and it just immediately comes off. There we go. Okay, we can set this aside because we're going to build a wing. So, Yeti, in your days of being in the military, how often did you get the mass punishment thing? And more importantly, how often were you the cause that everybody else got mad? I'm just kidding. No, I don't know that, dude. I'm just messing around. Well, I don't want to speak too soon, but this part's going a lot faster. Oh, and I want to tell you guys too that oh yeah, Yeti, I'm gonna give a guy a chance first to make it right, because sometimes people make an honest mistake. However, if after I reach out to him and he doesn't make good on it, I'm gonna blast him. And no, that was not a gun reference. What that is a reference of, I'm going to put it out there that he's a scumbag, if he is a scumbag. I'm not saying he is. I don't know yet. All right. Comment. Was a painful experience to build. I can imagine, man. 2 cats in a basket. All right, dude. How you doing? It's good to see you again, by the way. Did you guys hear about this planet they found orbiting past Neptune? Is pretty far out there. It's about 9 times the size of the Earth. And they said it takes something like 20,000 years for it to orbit the sun, which, god dang, that's crazy. Anyway, if you guys don't know, space is one of my favorite subjects. I really do enjoy things about space. And I mean, I grew up thinking that Pluto was a planet, and then they downgraded it to a dwarf planet, but I didn't know you could do that. I didn't even know dwarf planets existed until that stupid decision. And I think it's dumb, because Pluto will always be a planet to me. I don't care what they say. The Kepler belt I find very interesting, how all of a sudden there's a big old asteroid field, and it's not related to Star Wars. Okay, why is this that way? Oh, mainly because I want it that way. Yeah, Backstreet Boys. Oh, I was just joking around with the Yeti. I asked how often that you experienced mass punishment in the Army, and then when you were in, and then I was also asking how many times were you the cause that everybody else got mass punishment. But I was only joking. No, I don't mean to. I'm not trying to offend your service record. I have a mad respect that you were able to do what you did. So, okay. Noah, yeah, sometimes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I had to color sort like 2,000 something pieces, and finding little gray pieces was a nightmare. I agree. The smaller the piece, the more difficult it is. Oh my gosh, that sounded like a Michael Jackson joke. Sorry, didn't mean it. Okay, what's the difference between a rusty bus stop and a crab with a boob job? One is a crusty bus station, and the other is a busty crustacean. Yeah, sometimes I buy it from a retail and bought it new from a retailer, but it's actually returned by somebody and messed with. Yeah, there was a picture circulating the internet way back um, about somebody who returned a Lego because, according to them, they didn't realize that it came in pieces. Which, okay, obviously they're not a regular Lego buyer. So I've seen stuff from Walmart where people will swap. Oh yes, yes, and sometimes they actually put stuff in there that has nothing to do with Lego. Very sad. I mean, like really. And my least favorite thing is when I see those mystery figures, the series, and you see a bunch of them broke open, because you know that Walmart is eventually going to catch on that, hey, we can't have these out in the open, and then it just makes it harder for the rest of us to get them. To be honest, so I really don't appreciate a thief. All right, we'll set this aside. And Yeti says, "I'm only joking. I was never the cause, but we had a couple of them, and just last day it got soap saw. Oh yeah, we had to run 3 extra miles that day for for somebody doing something really disgusting. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah, I don't know your particular circumstance, but I've definitely heard some stories from Mrs. Chip with some stuff that's happened, and she gets mad because not her current commander, but at another base that she was at, the commander or the whoever it was, the first sergeant, his favorite form of punishment was to make them stay late on a Friday and do stupid things like reorganize the supply closet or just dumb things to waste their time. And he always did it on a Friday afternoon when everybody wants to go. So yeah, it can be pretty brutal. Not that I would know from firsthand experience. I've never served. I tried to serve. They rejected me, literally. So I guess you could say I'm a reject. I already knew that, by the way. Oh, well, I missed that part. Let me put that on there. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, I got one last joke for you guys, and then I'm out of jokes. Then we'll have to do some news of the weird. Okay, what's the difference between a male and a female ghost? Well, the difference is boobies. And that's also one of the jokes. John and I used to joke around like that. John used to text me, and every time he would text me, he would say "boo," and I would respond "b." So, yeah, 50-year-old man with a 12-year-old sense of humor. That's me. I don't think that'll ever change. I always have a 12-year-old sense of humor, no matter how old I get. And speaking of that, Mrs. Chip, one of her favorite things to say to me is, "How old are you?" And that's after I do something stupid. That's like after I do something that Yeti would probably say, "Bless your heart." Mrs. Chip will instead say, "How old are you?" And I didn't have a response at first, and then I thought of one. And this one really gets to her. I'll say, "Old enough to know better, but I'm going to do it anyway." That's my answer. And the other one that I've said to her that she don't like is when she says, "How old are you?" I'll say, "Man, I've told you several times. You forgot again?" And I want to give you guys a relationship tip here. If your wife comes into the room really mad with a knife in her hand, and you're afraid of being attacked, just demand that she make you a sandwich. And her natural instincts will kick in, and she'll go in the kitchen and make you a sandwich. Try it sometimes. I promise you they have the same sense of humor, but worse than the military. Yes, I know all about that. Yeti, I used to do some stand-up when we lived in Germany, and used to visit different clubs on base. And I used to do a routine, and when I first did it, it was kind of impromptu. The first time I did it, and I was kind of a little scared. Well, actually, very scared. I wasn't sure how it was going to be received. But after I told a couple of my jokes that I thought were going to be over the top, and I heard the laughter, I realized my jokes were not foul enough. So I started telling more foul jokes, and I got even more laughter. In fact, I learned the more foul the joke was, the more better it was received. And a lot of those jokes I cannot tell on YouTube. And oh, by the way, in the military, most people don't care about racist jokes. They think they're funny. So you can tell racist jokes up there on stage, and what will happen is the minorities that you're making fun of will actually laugh. But guess what? You don't need to be offended for them because they laughed. And on top of that, I make fun of my own kind. I don't care. So I'm an equal opportunity offender when it comes to jokes. I pass around the offense and the butt hurt as evenly as I can. I think one of my favorite jokes I ever told, I told this bit, in the military, hoo-ah, they like to say. And I came up with a joke scenario where I told them that I knew some of you out there, when they said hoo-ah to their first sergeant, really meant F you, first sergeant. And I did a whole bit about that. And oh man, the laughs were great. They really resonated. That one really hit home. Okay, so I need a single right there. Oh, there it is. Oh, I think I messed that up. Did I mess that up? I'm going to have to take a look here in a minute. Okay, here we go. What was really sad is growing up in the military. My dad, he's retired Navy. I heard jokes that at a very young age that I probably shouldn't have heard. And I don't think my dad realized I heard them, but our house had paper walls. And anyway, I would go to school every now and again with a new joke that would get me in trouble. The only cool part about it was if they called my dad, which sometimes they did. My mom was deaf, by the way, so you couldn't call her, and there was no text messages back then. My dad would never get me in trouble for telling a joke that he had told me indirectly, because he recognized where it came from. So we used to make fun of the Navy all the time. Yeah, I've heard those jokes too. Have you heard the joke about military intelligence and why it isn't that great? If you haven't heard the joke, it's because military intelligence means something different to every single branch of the military. If you tell the the Navy, if you tell them to secure a building, the Navy will lock the doors, check all the windows, and leave one guard at the door. If you tell the Army to secure the building, they'll check all the windows, the doors, make sure they're locked, and they'll post 2 guards at the front door, 2 guards at the back door, and they will, yeah, that's how they do it. The Marines, if you ask them to secure a building, they'll put a guard. And by the way, I'm missing a sticker. Dang it, jerk. I'm going to definitely talk to this guy. Anyway, if you ask the Marines to do it, they'll check all the doors, the windows. They'll put 2 guards on the front door, 2 guards on the back door, and they'll put a tank on each 4 corners of the building. If you ask the Air Force to secure a building, they'll just lock the front door and leave. Yeah, it looks like I messed this up. I put a wrong piece right here, but it's a slope, and there it goes. And I don't see the other piece that belongs there. Oh, sorry, Steve, I can't answer. I'll have to call you back, bud. Oh boy. Well, I think my body kicking me out of bed early is starting to take its full effect. I'm definitely going to nap in between now and when my stream is later. And like I said, Yeti, I'll send you the link as soon as I set it up. For some reason, because I do both YouTube and Rumble at the same time, it also, yeah. It doesn't, Rumble doesn't let you do more than one stream setup at a time. And so you can't, if I try to set up 2 streams, it doesn't work. So anyway, and oh, by the way, that was actually part of the problem that I had with YouTube, was that because I'm streaming on both platforms at the same time through StreamYard, she said something about it causing confusion with their system, and so that's why some of my watched hours weren't being calculated correctly. But like I said, they got a ticket in to fix that, so hopefully that it's going to be old news very soon. Excuse me, I've got hiccups all of a sudden. I don't usually get hiccups. Okay. And then they're telling me I need to have, I already put it on there. Never mind. Well, sweet. Let's keep going. Well, we're getting there, guys. It's slowly coming together. I'm enjoying this, and I can't either, man. Yeti, I got the same problem. I can't tell most of the jokes I know. Get me banned. I mean, I tell my friends in private, but on YouTube, I wouldn't even have a channel, man. YouTube would just come along and say, yeah, we're done with you, dude. We don't need you. I mean, it's kind of like they tried to tell me that anyway. Okay. Oh, there you go. You know, I just built this set, my other one, not too long ago. You would think that I remember how to build it a little bit, but I'll be honest with you, I don't remember jack nothing. What? I missed something? If I asked Miss Chip that, I'm pretty sure the answer would be yes. Anyway. Okay, there's a couple pieces I'm not finding, but I think we can move on without them for now. No, there it is. I like these building techniques they did. They're pretty cool. How they put the bracket on the side to create another row of studs. That's pretty cool. All right, let's do another news of the weird. The National Police Agency in Japan is urgently warning parents and others about a, quote, real gimmick mini revolver, close quote, found among the prizes in claw machines around the country. The plastic toy, which comes with 8 plastic bullets, reportedly can also fire real bullets. Oh, that's nice. 16,000 of toys have been imported from China since December. The added danger is that shooting a live bullet could cause the plastic firearm to blow up in the shooter's hand. Well, yeah, no. Oh man, that's just tragic. Why would you make a kid's toy like that? Yeah, that's weird. Of course, that is news of the weird, but I mean, really, why? I remember the little cap guns. Cap guns were fun when I was a kid. I loved firing those things. And I remember, this is a bad story. Okay, so I knew this friend, Raul, and he was from Peru. And he lived like, I think 2 doors down. And he was an adult. He had a wife. He had a kid. And good people. In fact, it's funny because it was the exact different stereotype. I didn't care. I was a kid. I didn't realize stereotypes, and I don't care anyway. So usually your gardener is from South America or Central America. And I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just saying that's a stereotype, right? Well, I was the white kid, and Raul used to hire me to take care of his garden. He paid pretty good, by the way. Anyway, I remember I was over there one day, and their little son Christopher was playing with a cap gun, and it was firing off, and the mom wasn't really paying attention. And she came out like she did regularly and asked if I needed water or something. They were good people. Well, I did tell her, yeah, I could use some water. And then she asks me, she says, hey, or no, we were talking, and I said, hey, Marcy, I said, I don't think your son Christopher, because he's only like 3 or 4, I was like, I don't think you should be playing with that cap gun. It's kind of dangerous. And she goes, oh, is that what that is? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, okay. So she took it away from him. And then I felt like a jerk because she handed me the cap gun, and she goes, do you want to finish off the rest of the bullets and have fun? Or the little strip thing that it comes with? And I was like, well, I wasn't meaning to take away from your kid, but I was a teenager at the time. So anyway, the moral of the story is I complained about it, and I ended up being able to shoot off the rest of the gun. They gave up jarts to play with. Oh yeah, I remember jarts, the dart lawn, lawn darts or whatever it was. And I remember back when ATVs used to have 3 wheels, but people kept flipping on them, and they quit selling them. My cousins had a couple of 3-wheelers. They were actually kind of fun. We used to go up in the mountains. Anyway, yeah. And Cajun's saying I'm still working on redoing my Mills plates for my modulars. Yeah, I saw that, man. I think you got it figured out now, but I was going to say, I wished I would have known. I would have sent you some pictures of how I do it. You don't have to do it the way I do it. I'm just saying. Hopefully, it would have saved you a little bit of trouble. I didn't even realize what you were doing. So I'm slow to the draw, kid. And whatever Spencer cooked, it's smelling good. It's getting to me. I want some. All right. My city update is launched. It's a short. Okay. I will take a look at there. Owen the Lego Master. Excuse me. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I got tongue-tied there. Boy, this is going slower than I thought, guys. I'm almost, I'm at an hour and a half already, and I can't believe it. Okay, where does this go? Oh, up here. Oh, wait, where? There. Oh, I will, definitely, Owen. I made those meals plate before. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Half of me thinks I should have, even if I would have met you before, half of me thinks I should have told you how to do it wrong just for fun. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that, dude. I know how frustrating it is to build something only to realize you messed up and you got to go back. Especially like a Technic set. Ooh, man. I hate Technic sets. You get a pin in the wrong place, you don't find out till halfway through the rest of the build. Then you got to tear it all down because Technic isn't easy to separate. Oh, man. But no, I just got through doing that with my city. I just got through redoing part of it. A big chunk of it, actually. The whole thing, in fact. Okay, so we got the little thing back here. What did you say? Oh, what a good friend you are. Yeah, I am. Well, with friends like me, who needs enemies? No, I'm just kidding. Joking around. I'm actually a good friend. Owen said, what'd you say? I don't remember. I said I'll check it out. Your video right after I'm done here. I'm gonna grab me some lunch and then I'll just pull up my phone and see if I can't locate that video of yours. I'm sure I can. Oh shoot, I missed a bunch of stuff. Let me get that done. Yeah, Technic is very hard. I did the big Technic blue Bugatti. Yeah, that one is a pain. And in fact, that one was a pain for a different reason. It was my son's, and he left it when he left the house. And I was working, or I was moving it one day, and I noticed that one of the rear mirrors was missing. And so, you know, I looked online, and not very many people had the piece. It kind of looks like this, but smaller. And I just didn't really care to get it because, you know, every time I did a Bricklink order, I'd see if someone had it. They didn't have it. I didn't want to just buy it all by itself because shipping is obnoxious, as you know. So I just kept checking, and eventually I couldn't find a seller that had it and had pieces I wanted. So one time I just broke down and said, okay, I'm buying it. And I bought it all by itself. It came in the mail. I put it on the car. And as I'm picking up the car to put it back on the shelf, I dropped the Bugatti on the ground. Well, it is Technic, so not a lot came off. But what did happen was the rear mirror that was missing, it was sitting on one of the seats. And yeah, it was there all along. And here I was spending all this money on it. So yeah, that's me. And that's my luck too. I swear I do that kind of crap all the time. And here's one for you. Do you all have the same problem I do, where you set out to do something, and through a series of mistakes and F-ups, if you know what I mean, you end up doing way more than you should just to do a simple job? Okay, you're probably wondering at this point, what the hell is this guy talking about? Let me give you an example. The other day, I was walking in my restroom. I have a very large restroom, by the way. It actually has 3 different rooms to it. It's got a room with a shower in it. It's got a room with the toilet in it. And then it's got the main one with the bathtub and the vanity. Anyway, I was walking through there, and all I was trying to do was stock up the toilet paper. So I had this big old 18 pack of toilet paper in my hands. And as I'm walking, I was barefoot, and I accidentally walked over my oxygen hose, because I have an oxygen machine in there because I sleep with it. And the oxygen hose got in between my big toe and my other toe, like, in between it. And I noticed it, so I tried to get my foot off there gently, and I when I did that, I ended up yanking the oxygen hose out of the machine, damaging it. So I had to go to my supplies and grab another one. Well, when I did that, or I attempted to do that, I turned around and I got the oxygen hose stuck between my big toe and the other toe on the other foot. And I'm not going to go through the rest of it, but so many things ended up happening that it was actually quite embarrassing, man. I mean, I really just, what should have been a very simple thing ended up turning into a disaster, man. I'm just wondering, does anybody else have luck like that out there, or is it just me? Is this going to be like Frosty the Snowman, the Island of Misfit Toys, and that's me? Yeah. Yeti says, bro, I've done that. By the way, I am a great philosopher, if you didn't know. And I like to think of ways to take care of things. Some common problems using unconventional but time-tested methods. What am I talking about? Well, you know how you, for instance, you put socks in the dryer, and you always end up with a missing sock or two. Well, I think that since that's a phenomenon that's tested and time tested and proven, I think that we should stick nuclear waste in the dryer and just keep running the dryer till it disappears. I think that's a very logical way to get rid of nuclear waste. Because, I mean, heck, if my socks go missing all the time, eventually the nuclear waste has got to go missing, right? Another method that I've come up with. You know how it's hard to build a bridge and it takes time? We're doing it all wrong. We just are. I found a just perfect way to instantly build a bridge. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the good old thing about if you put butter on bread, and you drop it. We all know it's going to land on the butter side. It always does. We know that, right? We also know that cats always land on their feet, right? Okay. So since we know those two things and it's always going on, I think that to build bridges, what we need to do is get a bunch of cats. There's plenty of strays. And you strap a piece of bread to their back with the butter side up. That way, because of the two things that always happen, if you throw a cat over a ravine with that piece of butter that's breaded, because of the one side's going to want to go over and the other one wants to do this, it's just going to instantly float in the air and stay there. And you can build a bridge in no time flat. And the good thing about it is if you ever need maintenance, it's just real easy. So that's my solution to common everyday problems. I have more of them. I'll break out some more later. But yeah, there you go. You know, I don't have a solution to this problem, but I do wonder, why is it that if I drop something in the middle of the night, why is it guaranteed, and I mean absolutely guaranteed, to fall on my big toe? What is it about the big toe that always gets punished? Has anybody got an idea on that? Because I don't, and I hate it. My big toe's sore because every time I open the fridge in the middle of the night to get something to eat, I swear, I get beat around. My foot gets smashed. I'll tell you another one I don't like. And, Spencer's gone now. I didn't get to talk to him on his lunch, but this is one that has happened to me so many times. So I've got weights up here, and I do lift the weights every other day. I do. Well, I have this rack that's supposed to go on, and my son doesn't like using that rack. When he uses my weights, he likes to take them off the rack, and he likes to put them on the ground. The problem is, I am the one that in the dark ends up following up on that, and every single time it has led to me hitting my foot on a weight. And let me tell you, those weights don't give. Oh my gosh, does that hurt to kick a weight with your bare foot? Oh my gosh. In fact, it happened last night. So, and if my toes weren't so ugly, I'd show you how my big toe on my right foot is bruised right now. But this isn't OnlyFans, so I will not show my feet. If I'm going to show my feet, I got to charge. I'm sorry. You know, I don't have any other assets I could show on OnlyFans, so I'd have to charge for my feet. And if you guys don't know, I'm being totally sarcastic. I don't believe in OnlyFans. In fact, I think OnlyFans is a freaking joke. I don't know how these girls sit there and show their booty or whatever they show on there, and they get paid a couple $1 million a month. I'm like, who the frick is paying these girls for this stuff? Not that I'm okay with it, but honestly, if you're looking to see stuff like that, it is free all over the internet. Why the hell would you pay for it? And you know how many of these girls do that, and then somebody leaks the photos online so you can see them free? I'm just saying, dude, if you pay for that shit, you're stupid. And I mean it. And I'm sorry, excuse my language, but I was speaking a little French there. And I'm not trying to encourage anybody to do that, by the way. I actually think that, well, I don't want to go down that road, but I do actually think it's a scourge on our society, the fact that that stuff is out there so freely. And I think it destroys people. And it destroys relationships too. So that's my take on it. Now, you can do whatever you want in your spare time. If you enjoy consuming that content, more power to you. Have fun. All right, looks like we're down to the last 60 pieces or so, if they're actually all here, which I don't think they are. Oh, I messed that up. That's my problem. Let me fix this. If I can, because I just cut my nails, dang it. There we go. It seems like whenever I cut my nails, building Legos for the next couple of days is... And yes, I did do Legos on purpose because I love pissing off people who really think that's a deal. I don't care, man. Call it whatever you want. And I'll call it whatever I want. And by the way, leave me alone. Whatever I call it, leave me alone. All right. So we've got, like I said, maybe another 60 pieces on here. I'm guessing because I didn't really count them, but okay. So we've got one of the engines here. You know what I didn't understand in the movie Avengers is how, in the end, Shield was supposedly ran by Hydra, their arch enemy. I didn't understand that storyline. Did anybody else understand that and how that happened or how that would have happened? You would think that somebody would have known. But one of my favorite parts, by the way, of Avengers was the story of how Samuel L. Jackson lost his eye to a cat. That was a crazy story, but one that's definitely funny and worth repeating. So, it looks like I found all the missing pieces so far, and I say that now, but by the time this is done, I'm going to be losing another piece. Watch. Oh, because they hired a lot of people that turned to hype. Okay, I did not know that. Okay. I have to admit, I think one of the coolest scenes to that movie is the part where they're standing there in Washington, D.C. on the Potomac River, and all of a sudden, like, the water just, like, parts out, and this huge helicarrier comes out. I thought that was a freaking awesome scene. And we are missing a piece. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. See, I say that and then I find it. So maybe I should shut my pie hole and just keep building. I don't think shutting my pie hole is possible, by the way. I know if Mrs. Chip was here, she would definitely agree with that statement. Let me tell you right now. Oh, I'm off screen. Sorry. Okay, this looks weird. Yeah, it is weird because I skipped a step. There we go. Ah, I'm missing another sticker. No, I'm not. Okay, we got the other engine on here. Well, we should have the other engine on here. There it goes. All right, didn't want to go on there for a minute. Okay, I'm not putting those things on there. Okay, that was freaking weird. Okay. All right. I think we're done with that part. I skipped the buggy in the beginning because I didn't feel like doing it. But now that all these pieces are gone, we're going to go ahead and build that real quick. So I'm short 2 stickers, and I think that's it. But still, that's kind of a bummer to buy something he said was new. It's not. It's used, and on top of that, it's not complete. I only paid $30 for it, but still. He said it was complete with the exception he took the minifigures out of here. So that's why he was selling it for $30. I don't really care about the minifigures because I just need this for my my Avengers Tower build. So it didn't really care. That part didn't bother me. But what does bother me is that if you say it's complete otherwise, it better be complete otherwise. So I'll get a hold of this guy too today. And if you don't hear anything more about it, it's because the guy was gracious enough to honor what he said in the listing, and there's no problem in the end. But if you do hear more about it, it's probably going to be complaining about it and naming them. I know this is kind of controversial, but I am the kind of guy that if somebody screws me over with money, I don't have a problem with naming and shaming. But I'm not quick to do it because I do understand that people make mistakes. And so if the guy gets back to me and is just like, hey, I'm really sorry. Yeah, you're right. I messed that up. Here's some money back. Then I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and hold it against them. Oh, that didn't go very well. All right. It kind of looks like one of those Tron bicycles. I will put these on here. Okay, so got a few random pieces that don't belong. All right, so what did we do today? Well, hopefully we had fun. What we have here is we've got a Quinjet, okay? And now we have 2 Quinjets. And that means that I got to find some tires so these things have wheels, because we are going to stick it on and inside the next level of my Avengers Tower, which I have started to work on. Not much, but I've started, and it's coming apart. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on all notifications, head to my Bricklink store, links in the description. Also, you can head to my Etsy store to get dividers for your Akro-Mils drawers. All right, guys, I am doing another live stream at 6 o'clock my time, which is about 5 hours from now. So I hope you guys have a good one, and I will catch you guys. I'll catch you cats on the flip-flop.